Chapter 12. Sophie, Oliver, and Michelle got up from the table and walked out of the room. They walked toward the elevator, got on, and headed down to the lobby. This type of change could have just been discussed over text, said Oliver. Nonsense, said Sophie. It's customary that for any serious changes, the captains should meet together in person. Even if that is the case, this could have waited until next month, said Michelle. Oh, please, like you were busy today. You're always sitting in your office saying how bored you are, Sophie said jokingly. That's not the point, said Michelle. And don't go spreading my business around. Besides, waiting 1 month won't change the prep time. We all have to organize a team. Victor was excited about this change, said Sophie. He tried not to show it, but I could tell. So the real question is, what secret weapon do you think he's found among the first years that will give him an advantage? Oliver asked. Obviously, it's the kid who fought against Tony Spencer, Michelle replied. Their match is all anyone on that side of campus is talking about. You didn't see the footage? Sophie asked Oliver. Of course not, Oliver replied as they reached the first floor and exited the elevator. I have more important things to worry about than a bunch of first years. In the lobby, each of the officers waited while their captains finished their meeting upstairs. Serving under Captain Oliver Butler were Edward Stewart, a serious and ambitious young man with spiky brown hair and a sharp focus on rising through the ranks. Patrick Costello, a mellow and unpredictable Spanish officer with a black ponytail. Aaron Parker, a confident and arrogant officer with silver eyes and dark skin. Someone who had a commanding presence, who was proud of his power and position. Serving under Captain Sophie Reed were Natasha Strong, a calm and composed young woman. Her style was unique. She would keep the right side of her orange hair shaved. The demeanor she carried tried to mirror that of her captains. Melody Stackhouse, lighthearted with pink eyes and long cornrows. Approachable, but able to turn strict when needed. Carrie Nelson, a quiet and lazy, yet incredibly skilled 16-year-old with pink hair, who earned her officer role through raw talent. Joanna Monroe, intelligent and rule-driven, with short dark blue hair and a no-nonsense attitude. Clara Schmidt, a poised woman with brown hair and a bun and glasses, respected for her insight and wisdom, especially by Captain Reed. Serving under Captain Michelle Lang was Bruce Watanabe, a heavy-set, calm, and easygoing citizen from the Kingdom of Dronea. He was always friendly with everyone, and he carried a quiet confidence in his abilities. Wanda Green, serious and strong-willed with yellow eyes and a bold afro, who could always be fun and sarcastic with friends. Kat Mullins, soft-spoken and reclusive with disheveled purple hair, carrying quiet trauma behind her black eyes. Kayla Mullins, Kat's cousin, with dark green hair and a steady, supportive nature, more social than Kat, and emotionally resilient. Most of them were either chatting quietly, reviewing notes, or passing the time in their own way. Edward and Aaron were reviewing documents on a shared tablet. They talked in quiet tones to each other so that no one would hear them. Patrick leaned against the wall, arms crossed and foot tapping slowly, impatience practically radiating off him. Near the large window, Natasha stood alone, calmly observing the campus grounds below, her posture straight and composed. Wanda sat between Kat and Kayla, cracking jokes and teasing students who walked by. Kat, reserved as ever, laughed quietly at Wanda's snarky comments, clearly enjoying the company. Kayla smiled softly, her eyes occasionally looking at her phone as she chuckled along. Bruce, unsurprisingly, was sitting nearby enjoying a quick nap, entirely at peace. Melanie sat near the group, scrolling through her tablet and reviewing her notes with a thoughtful expression. At the edge of the room, Carrie and Joanna were locked in a quiet conversation, calmly exchanging their thoughts about the day's activities. Joanna nodded as she listened, occasionally chiming in with her usual strict tone. A short distance away from the others, Clara sat with her legs crossed and a notebook in her lap, pencil in hand as she sketched with quiet focus, an activity she often used to center her thoughts. When the elevator doors finally opened, the three captains, Oliver, Sophie, and Michelle, stepped into the lobby. Oliver cleared his throat sharply. Everyone paused and turned toward them, standing a little straighter as the room quieted in an instant. "Let's go, ladies," Sophie said to Natasha, Melanie, Carrie, Clara, and Joanna. They all followed behind her as she walked out the front door. Bruce hopped up off the floor and yawned and stretched as he walked up to Michelle. Well, that meeting didn't take long, said Bruce. Yes, it was a waste of time, said Michelle. It was a conversation that could have waited until next month. So what was it about? Wanda asked as she walked up. You'll find out soon, Michelle replied as she started walking toward the exit. Let's get out of here. Kat moved up to walk next to Michelle as they walked down the stairs of the building. Captain, have you thought more about what I discussed with you yesterday? Kat asked. You mean about the second-year student? What was her name again? Michelle asked. Alice Gadsden, Kat replied. You mean the girl who lost in the prelims? Wanda asked rhetorically. She lost last year too, Kayla added. It doesn't matter that she lost, Kat argued. She's still a person of interest, someone that you should consider adding to your team. Honestly, Kat, your powers of perception may be working against you on this one, said Wanda. You all do well to respect what Kat can do, said Michelle. She can perceive a person's latent abilities, their potential. It may not look like it on the surface, but if she says something is there, then we would do well to find out what that potential is. I agree, Captain, said Bruce. She has given us a candidate we can add to our ranks. We should take it seriously. Whatever you say, Captain, said Wanda. Oliver was the only one who stayed behind in the lobby. He leaned against the wall in silence as his officers looked at him. Captain, is there something we should be doing? Edward asked. Right now, we're just waiting on a phone call before we leave, Oliver replied. Chapter 13. Back on the top floor, Eric, Emmanuel, and Victor continued their conversation. Victor, I have to say, it's good to see you enthused about the invitational this year, said Eric. I feel that it's time for me to participate in helping to mentor the next generation of students here at Delta, Victor replied. Indeed. I also know that there is more to your motivation for you taking this seriously, said Eric. Yourself, Emmanuel, and I know fully well the stipulation that is had between the top 3 seats. Whoever wins the invitational will become the new leader of Ghost. I've won the invitational 2 years running now, and I don't plan on losing. What you plan isn't how things always play out, Victor replied. We'll see who comes out on top this year. Yes, Eric said with a smile of excitement. Things are going to be so interesting this year. I can't wait. How about our other piece of business? Emmanuel asked. Oh, yes, of course. We have 2 new recruits that I want in our ranks, Eric explained as he pulled out 2 folders. He slid the folders on the table for Victor and Emmanuel to see. Victor grabbed a folder, opened it, and saw a profile of Ethan Alexander. Ethan Alexander, said Victor. Yes, this is the student who gave Tony a little bit of a challenge during the prelims, Eric explained. I know, I was there, said Victor. So, you saw the fight firsthand. Then I don't need to sell you on the idea that this could turn out to be an interesting candidate for us to recruit. Since you've seen him, you should be the one to bring him in. This is working out perfectly, Victor said to himself. Eric isn't aware of anything, so my plan is falling into place. What about the other profile? Victor asked. He and Emmanuel traded folders as Eric gave them some details about the other candidate. The other one is Laura Gellert, Eric explained, another first year and someone of great interest. Victor studied her profile and didn't see anything that stood out as special about this girl. He could only wonder why she seemed important enough to recruit. She seems like a very average student, said Victor. She didn't have a fighting style, and she wasn't a part of any of the preliminary matches for the C rank. She is a late enrollee, Eric explained. She got in Delta off recommendation. What makes her so special? Victor asked. That's not important right now. The only thing we need to worry about is recruiting her, said Eric. How do you expect us to agree to such recruiting strategies when you fail to give details about your reasoning? Victor asked. As the leader, I decide how the recruiting process works, said Eric, and I don't need permission from either of you. These are your orders, and I expect you to carry them out. Emmanuel, how do you plan on approaching this recruitment? Victor asked. Emmanuel won't be recruiting her. Oliver will, said Eric. So you're changing things again? Victor asked rhetorically. The top 3 seats handle all the recruiting. Yes, I am changing things. And again, I don't need your permission, Eric said firmly. Just do your job, Victor. And if you want the power and the ability to be the ultimate decision maker around here, then beat me at the invitational. Eric got up from the table and walked towards the exit. He pulled out his phone and made a call as he walked. Oliver's phone began to ring. He pulled it out, saw Eric's number, and answered. Yeah, said Oliver as he answered the call. I've briefed Victor and Emmanuel on the plan, said Eric. You can move forward with recruiting the girl. Understood, Oliver replied. So how did the others take it, me joining the recruiting team? It doesn't matter how they feel about it, said Eric. They wouldn't dare challenge me, and I'll make sure it stays that way. You just make sure to keep her close to you. Shield her from any outside influence until we can complete the mission. I'm on it, said Oliver as he ended the call. He motioned to his officers that it was time to go. They followed behind him as he exited the building. Victor took a picture of Laura's profile picture. He wasn't sure why, but he could see that she was important to Eric. There was nothing he could do right now but continue to investigate. In the meantime, he would focus on putting his plan together. Chapter 14. The next day, Ethan met with the head doctor of the academy, Norman Clay, to evaluate his rehab progress. Ethan, how are you feeling today? Norman asked as he entered the room. I'm feeling fine today, Doc, Ethan replied. I don't have any more pain on my right side. I feel like I'm good to go. Indeed you are, said Norman as he studied Ethan's chart. You didn't have any serious injuries when you came in. The minor injuries that you did have, you seem to have fully recovered from. I guess there is no reason to keep you here any longer. If you don't mind, though, there are a few tests I would like to run. Perhaps you can come back when you have some free time to help me out. What kind of test? Ethan asked. Well, before Norman could reply, Ethan's mother, Dinah, entered the room. Oh, doctor, you're here already. I was hoping to arrive on time to hear your evaluation on Ethan's progress, said Dinah. No worries, Miss Alexander. Your boy is in good health and he's ready to return to his regular school schedule, said Norman. That's great news. Well, Ethan, come along. You have a lot of catching up to do, said Dinah as she opened the door for them to leave the room. Sure. Thanks again, Doc, said Ethan as he followed his mother. Norman smiled and waved at them as they left the room. His smile slowly faded as the door closed. He sighed to himself and turned to face the window. He didn't get a chance to run further experiments as he wanted, and that made him a little annoyed. He pushed those thoughts aside and checked his clipboard to see how the rest of his schedule looked for the day. Dinah and Ethan took the elevator down to the lobby, and they walked out the front entrance of the hospital. They walked over to the shuttle stop and waited for the next one to arrive. It's good to see you doing better, son, said Dinah as she sat on the bench. Yeah, but now I have to play catch-up, said Ethan. I don't even know the results of the preliminary matches. I can update you on the outcome of the preliminaries, said Dinah as she pulled out her phone to access the C-Rank database. Your serving captains this year are Tony Spencer, Willa Robinson, and your sister, Naomi Alexander. Isn't that great news? The best, Ethan replied sarcastically as he slouched in his seat. Sit up, dear, said Dinah. The officers this year are Alice Gaston, Alex Clark, and your brother, Aiden Alexander. Aiden is an officer? Ethan yelled out, startling others on the bus. Not so loud, but yes, he made officer this year, said Dinah. He won his preliminary match. Winning that match always guarantees an officer's position to a first-year student. Well, that's just great. Both of them got positions of authority. I'm never going to hear the end of it, said Ethan. The shuttle bus arrived at the C-Rank territory on campus. Dinah hit the trigger to initiate the shuttle to stop. This is your stop, son, said Dinah. Your second class of the day has already begun. The teacher knows you're on your way, so you don't want to be too late. Ethan said goodbye to his mother and exited the shuttle and headed for his second class of the day. This was technically his first class since being at school. He knew he had to adjust quickly to the schedule and the routines of the day, but he managed to get through a few classes without any problems. Later that afternoon, he went to the cafeteria for lunch. The cafeteria was centralized closer to the middle of campus because all of the students from each rank shared it. Ethan hadn't seen Aiden or Naomi all morning. He figured that they were busy with their new responsibilities. Ethan got some food and sat at one of the cafeteria tables. As he sat, he noticed that a few people here and there said hi to him in passing as if they already knew him. Then he heard a familiar voice coming from behind him. Ethan, it's good to see you out and about, said Joshua as he walked up and sat down in front of him. How are you adjusting to your official first day at the academy? Not too bad, Ethan replied. The classes are pretty straightforward so far. I'm behind, so I have to play catch up. That's good. Now on to more important matters, said Joshua. And what's that? Ethan asked as he continued waving at other students who kept greeting him. It's time to give you your first assignment, said Joshua as he slid a folder in front of Ethan. Ethan picked up the folder, opened it, and saw a picture of Laura Gellert. Who is this? Ethan asked. That's what we want you to find out, Joshua replied. We know she's a first year, just like you, and that Ghost wants to recruit her. I was given the impression that this recruitment is special in some way. So we want to know why they want her to join them so badly. That's where you come in. We need you to find out more about her. Because she's important? Ethan asked. Exactly, said Anna as she walked up with her lunch tray and took a seat next to Ethan. Who are you? Ethan asked. This is Anna Wilder, A-rank officer serving under Second Seat Captain Victor McNamara, said Joshua. Anna will be around to show you the ropes and to help you learn all the important details about the campus. So you don't have anything else to go on, but you think she's important? Ethan asked. Ethan, you'll soon learn that everything at this academy isn't what it seems, Joshua explained. People are always scheming, maneuvering things in the shadows to get what they want. And if you want answers to any questions, you're going to have to work for it. You're going to have to work hard, Anna said as she ate some of her food with a smile on her face. So what do you want me to do? Ethan asked. Befriend her, Joshua replied. Find out who she is and see what you can learn about her. Once you do, we'll know how to proceed. Joshua got up from the table to take his leave. That's it? You're leaving? Ethan asked. Yes, Joshua replied. As an officer of the B rank, I have responsibilities. So it's time to get to work. Don't worry, Anna here has got you covered. Come on, Ethan, said Anna as she jumped up excitedly from her seat. Let's go. I'll show you around campus a little bit. Around campus? Now? Ethan asked. You do have a free period coming up, right? Anna asked. Well, yeah, but I was going to find my brother and sister, and don't worry about that, silly, Anna said, cutting Ethan off mid-sentence. Touring the campus is going to be much more fun. Anna dragged Ethan by the arm out of the cafeteria and towards the shuttle bus stop. They took the bus to the business district of the campus. Anna continued to drag Ethan by the arm, excitedly pointing out all of the places she liked to hang out at on campus. Eateries, social clubs, boutiques, where she liked to shop, and many other things. At the same time, Alice had arrived at a small cafe in the business district as well. She looked around the cafe and saw Kat Mullins sitting at a table to her left. Alice noticed Kat right away. Her long light purple hair made her stand out in a crowd. Since her hair was a little unkempt, it showed that she didn't care too much about what people thought about her appearance. She wore a black jacket with red accents, matching her class rank color. Kat waved Alice over to come and join her. Alice, I'm so glad you finally found time to meet up with me, Kat said sarcastically. I was beginning to think that you were avoiding me. Not at all, Alice replied. It's just what? Kat asked. I didn't win my match during the prelims, Alice explained. And I know you said that winning would guarantee my recognition from your captain. Losing doesn't mean that you wouldn't have a chance, said Kat. Ignoring me like you have will hurt your chances more than anything. You're right. I was stupid for not getting back to you sooner, said Alice. So what does this mean now? It means you're still a good candidate, said Kat. Captain Lang takes any recommendations I give her seriously. You just have to prove yourself. Tell me, how can I prove myself? Alice asked. In a few weeks, the battleground competition will be held between the B and C ranks. You should already be a part of the team since you're an officer. Make sure you impress my captain with your performance. You do that, then no doubt you'll get the tap to join the Invitational this year. The Delta Invitational, that's a big deal, said Alice. It's what everyone dreams of being a part of. If you can qualify to join, then you'll be a shoo-in to join the A rank and serve under Captain Lang. Make sure you prepare well for what's to come in the next few months. Kat got up and left the cafe. Alice sat and thought about what Kat had told her. She could barely hold her excitement at the possibility of being a part of the Invitational.